هذا هو اليوم الذي صنعه الرب فلنفرح ولنتهلل به.
المسيح قام من بين الأموات ووطئ الموت بالموت ووهب الحياة للذين في القبور.
المسيح قام من بين الأموات ووطئ الموت بالموت ووهب الحياة للذين في القبور.
Χριστός Ανέστη επνεκρόν θανάτων βαπτίσας και της εν τη μνήμας η ζωή ευχαριστάμενος.
3 days left, just 3 days left for VEDA. It's VEDA27. It's April 27th, 2012, and it's time for Comments X. First, right off the top, happy birthday, Kristen. Yeah, that's my good friend Kristen's birthday today. I want to wish her a very happy birthday. I wish I could be there with you for your party, but if you take some pictures and maybe take some video and put it up, we can see it, or, you know. Anyways, have a really good birthday. I hope you get lots of presents and have, you know, the day you want. And on to the rest of the business. Yeah, as things start moving along, yesterday was a bit of a cleaning up day. After the debugging, I did some test shots, got some new ideas, wrote up some scripts. Well, not actual scripts, but so I don't really use the script, I use outlines, so I wrote those up, I wrote up some outlines, and I've got a whole filming schedule for today that we sort of chock full, and Comments X might be changing a little bit depending on the weather. I might do a test shot tonight or tomorrow night, and the way I'm saying changing up a little bit is that it's not going to be done here in this, but I might do it outside. I might be doing Comments X outside for a while now because it's getting warmer out, and as the weather gets warmer and you can sort of sit outside, there's no place better than to do you know, no place better to do Comments X, so that's where I might do Comments X. Well, I said it will have to be it's weather X, Comments X will be outside pending the weather. If we can if the weather cooperates and we can film outside, then yeah. If not, then we're not gonna do that. So then I'm gonna be filming the rest of the mass shorts today for the rest of the week. I'm aiming. You'll see a whole bunch of. You're gonna see me around YouTube a lot today, and if you follow me on Facebook or whatever, I'm gonna start popping up on a very frequent basis. There's gonna be a list of stuff. There's basically a list of stuff that I have to get out today and do today. So, and as you see me on the week, this today on Friday, start popping up all over the place. Don't be too surprised. So, because there's a lot that's gonna come. That's going to be for the university channel for Physics TV. I'm going to be doing some work on. There is a new, not really new, it's been just sort of sitting there for a while. It's called iScience Fair. It's an internet science fair that several of my institutes host. And the whole purpose is to help, and this is sort of what the prize is. The prize isn't money, isn't money or anything like that. The prize is more esoterical than that. Well, it's yeah. If you think money is esoterical, then fine. But the whole purpose of this is to help young scientists, people who want to be scientists or heading in that direction of science and engineering, to start working in their field One of the catch-22s when you finish in with your degree in science, particularly if you're in engineering, is you can't get a job if you don't have any experience. But and the thing is, there's no way to get any experience unless you're hired for a job. So the thing is you're left at the end of some of the students are left at the end of their degree program, scratching their heads and wondering what to do next. And because they finish the degree program, they say, "Oh yeah, there's a lot that can be done in here." They see what's being done. They don't realize that a lot of what's being done is being done by either independent contractors or by university research institutes. So if you're not one of those when you finish your bachelor's degree, and more often than not you're not, then you're going to have a hard time finding a job. But so one of the sections I'm going to be building into the iScience sphere is the engineering section. It's going to be designed for students who are either close to finishing their engineering degree or have finished their engineering degree and can't find a job. What this is going to do is this is going to give you the work experience and the ability to showcase what you can and can't do. In other words, rather than walking in and saying, "Hire me, I just finished school," what you're going to do is you're going to find some projects to work on. You're going to fix them up just the way you would for any science competition. You're going to display them on the internet as you would, because you can do posters, you can do a whole bunch of things on the internet now, like you would in any science fair, including if you put up a YouTube channel or you put up videos from on MySpace or on High Five or Facebook, any of those places. If you set up a page or however you choose to do it, it's up to you. There are a number of options now that you can set up. You can show people your work, and that's what iScience is for. iScience Fair is for. iScience Fair is that science fair that allows you, it gives you the motivation to go out there and do something, to build a portfolio with your skills, and that's what's going to help you get hired. The more you have in your portfolio, the better, and the more options you'll have, and the more options you'll have to get hired. And this is something that's important. If you don't have anything in your portfolio, the thing is, and the longer you don't have anything in your portfolio, the worse off it's going to be for you, because that's what they're going to. They want us. When people hire engineers, they don't hire engineers for no reason. Engineers are supposed to be the intuitive, the imagination that develops imagination you go from concept or imagination to reality. And if you can't demonstrate this, going from imagination to reality, because this is what you do. An engineer is applied science. It's the theory of science, and more particularly physics, applied to reality. So if you can't demonstrate this, you can't demonstrate your capacity to do this, then no one's going to hire you. It's not a matter of that, oh, you look like a nice fellow, you're hired. No, businesses in many cases, and people who are going to hire you for a particular project are significantly more pragmatic about their choices than you would think. Is about what you can do. And if you can't demonstrate your capacity, one, for imagination, and two, to bring the imagination forward into reality, then no one's going to hire you because they don't want to take a risk with you on a particular project. And so what happens is, here, projects aren't something that's going to be done in 1 to 2 weeks. Most engineering projects are 5, 10, 15, even 20 years out. And they want to see when you're working on a project, in terms of the type of project, how long do you spend on it? How much effort do you put on it, even though the finish date or the projected finish date is years out, right? And if you can't demonstrate this, your capacity for this, then you're not going to get hired. You need to go look for a job in another field. And actually, this is what happens. A lot of engineers, or particularly some who finish with their bachelor's, won't go on and stay in engineering because they can't handle that. Because again, even if you choose a project and say, I'm going to go forward and do this, there's no guarantee that you're going to be successful at this. All engineering, all of this type of research, it involves a degree of risk. And this is why it's actually associated with business, because business and entrepreneurship is risk-based. So they're actually very similar. And if you can't demonstrate your capacity for risk, your penchant for risk, then no one's going to support you in what you do, because no one wants to pay for something if you can't stand up and demonstrate that you actually have something or have the potential to have something. And so this is sort of where, if you're a student and you're just finishing, you haven't got a good portfolio, a good demonstration of what you can do, in other words, all your work is paper, then you're going to have some significant problems later on. So as I said, the 3 programs are coming in. The iScience Fair is going to be under the university. It's going to be under APIS, the Astronomy and Physics Institute, and it's going to be under, well, because APIS is going to be a part of API, or AP, the AP Institute, the Astronomy and Physics Institute. So that's really those are the 3 3 institutes that are going to be supporting iScience Fair. It doesn't have to be in astronomy and physics. It could be in any direction in science. It's for those who want to step out of the average science fair, which is basically a dog and pony show. It's a where you do your projects to appease the judges. This isn't the goal here. The goal isn't to be petted in amongst the best, the best in the show. I'm using a dog show reference or a horse show reference. The goal is, and this is where iScience Fair is headed for. The goal is to make scientists out of people who want to be scientists or engineers. And we're going to be doing, the goal is to do cutting edge stuff. Get used to doing projects. If you want, start off a project at 3 months. Then once you do the 3 months, and if you see that you can do it, do a project at 6 months. And you can do a project, the 6-month project doesn't necessarily have to be a brand new project. You can take a look at, more often than not, take the stuff you did for 3 months, there's more in there that you haven't seen. So the better idea would be to take that 3-month project and go over it again for 6 months and see if you could produce something. No, take that risk. And then after you've done the 6 months, then try for the year. Go for the, double your expectations in terms of that risk that you're willing to take on. And if you can get up to doing a research project for the year and come up with quarterly reports on the work that you're doing, produce an entire website towards it. And it doesn't have to be a website that you create yourself. You could use Facebook. You could use, there's a whole variety of different avenues you can use. And this is how one of the reasons why I chose YouTube, because I have a whole variety of things, and I'm going back and fixing up my website. I actually have websites. I have my own web servers, but they're under reconstruction right now because they kind of fell behind, and I was trying to get more people to sort of see the work that I was doing and put out content in a much more efficient manner. And I was watching one of the channels who inspired me, Cassandra's NerdsRL, and watching what she was doing. I said, you know what? This would be a good avenue. YouTube, setting up a YouTube channel or several YouTube channels, and publishing my papers to here, rather than writing out my papers in full. Publish the papers here as documentaries, right? And this is where Big Bang Theory all started, because I really didn't know how to do documentaries as research papers. I knew how to do documentaries, but most documentaries, they're narrated and they're light and fluffy. They're not really, you know, they're not research papers. And I really didn't know how to approach it. And so as I was watching NerdsRL, I realized that if I did something like this, did an RL or a reality show here on YouTube, and this is what this is. This is a reality show, and that's why it's called BigBangTheoryRL. It's a reality show based around around me. I'm the astrophysicist, and as I do this, I get to practice. And this is what blogs are for. What is a vlog for? If you're going into other fields, you can use vlogs, one, for advertising, because it gets you out there and gets you seen. So that's your marketing tool here. This is how I'm getting out and getting seen. Two, it's giving me practice, particularly the RL part, because RL is real. It's real life. You don't need to really do a lot of fancy editing. You just sort of have to sit here and come up with a conversation and talk to people. There's also a whole thing of mannerisms. How you speak to a person also affects how they think of you. Now, it's not, and you got to realize that not everybody is going to like what you say. Not everyone's going to like who you are. And so what happens is you're not going to try to get out there and do for everybody. You're going to do what you feel comfortable with, and you're going to try and grow and expand and get better at what you're doing. And this is sort of gives you your step into a sort of a progression. You're aiming, and again, you're not aiming a month out. You're aiming maybe a year, 2 years out, that you'll get really good at this. So I'm still because I'm within my first year. Coming up, let's see. I started basically January 1st. So it was going January, February, March, April. So basically, I've done 4 months. We're going up to 4 months. Well, I've done 1/3 of the year. So there's still a lot more to go. I'm going to be making a lot more mistakes. But that's what this is for. That's what RL is for. RL is your beginning steps out, and because RL is the behind the scenes, is the reality, you get to see anything that's going to be developed, including the foods for the Silk Road, things that go on when I'm working on Adventures in the Library, or for the new series coming out for the University Channel, which is called Math Shorts. The first one that's coming out for the Math Shorts. The Math Shorts isn't going to be one thing. It's going to be a whole variety of things. Now, and I'm changed it. I didn't know what to title it first because everything's being done on an abacus. So the first level of mathematics now, the first series that's coming out from Math Shorts, is going to be the abacus, and you'll see that as I'm going to be doing. I've got 2 in the editing bay. I'm going to record another 3 today, so that would be 5 segments or episodes, because they're very short episodes of the abacus is going to go up. They're going to go up today. So yes, you'll see behind the scenes. We're talking about that now. We talked about the iScience fair. That's going to be on. It's going to be primarily on Physics TV. So the announcements for it's going to come out eventually. Going to come out on Physics TV. We'll start the list up. I'm going to put out another announcement. And the thing is, the links are going to. I'm going to put a lot of links in the down below bar to the Facebook page, because they're associated with Facebook pages. And what I'm going to start doing now is I'm going to start pulling all of the internet sources that I have out there. I'm going to start pulling everything together, and and this is going to be done within my wiki notebook, so that I can really have a well-organized system that I can really walk around from institute to institute and get all the work done. Now, this is not the research that's actually being done. This is sort of how I'm going to bring out the research that's being done. So right now, I'm still preparing the platform. Some of the research is coming out in Adventures in the Library. Adventures in the Library is the demonstration of library science. If you're not familiar with this type of research, library science is for anyone who's interested in research. Is the very basics of research, and it applies to everything. And so it's the very basic. Is the very basis of the university. The university is based entirely on library science. You don't walk into a course and sit there and listen to the professor and go back and take notes. What you do is in academia, university, and the university is you go into the library and you begin at any point in the library and you work your way out from that seed, that kernel, out to all those to as many areas as you can find. That's how we started off with a common term, a common derogatory term that we usually throw around today. We started off with the term moron. And from the term moron, we've hit on the history of words. We've hit on the history of words. We've gone into psychology, psychiatry, neurology, and now we're into organic chemistry and carbohydrates. I mean, so to say that you cannot go anywhere significant and cover a lot of good topics, you know, the well-rounded topics, by doing called the random walk, which is a part of quantum physics, is false, because we're doing right here. You see that we're doing this. In the Adventures in the Library is a demonstration of the exploratory scientific method based on the quantum physics random walk. It's a clear demonstration, and so this isn't simply a paper talking about the theoretics of the random walk. This is the random walk, and it qualifies in many ways as a chunk of the research. And I think this is what the university is based on. The university is based on, you go into a library, you have an idea, a thought and idea, and then you follow that thought and idea out throughout the library. You just start walking around and following that idea throughout the library, seeing where it takes you. And you're not predicting where it's going to take you. You're not directing it. You're allowing your research to dictate the direction you're going. And that's what I'm saying, is that the classical scientific method, the standard scientific method, is you have a purpose, you have your method, your observation, and you have a conclusion. The purpose, and this is what the whole purpose behind the classical scientific method is to test an idea out to see whether or not it's appropriate or not, or there's the right idea. And you're testing this idea out. But the thing is that that's not exploration. You're not exploring the idea. You're trying to fit your idea within preconceived ideas already. We'll call it approved standard knowledge. But unfortunately, that's subjective. Approved standard knowledge is not subjective. Is not objective. It's subjective, because it's subject to the human mind. What you want to do is you want to break loose from that. You want to explore. You want to see the universe as it is. And so what happens with quantum physics is that because you can't predict things in quantum physics. Everything exists in a state of probability, because you have the uncertainty principle, and this has been well demonstrated within engineering, that you cannot do without a physical model. You cannot do things purely within the computer system on a computer model, because things do not mesh out. They They do not meet reality. This is why people wonder, oh, you must be brain dead to not believe in global warming. Well, the problem is that global warming was built based on a computer model. And if you know anything about engineering, you know anything about the quantum physics and the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, then you know that the computer model never, ever meets reality. And unless you're working on a dynamic model, that's basically you're taking your data right from the satellites. You're not creating a computer model about this. Then you don't have anything. The Boeing engineers understand this. Any engineer who does any form of building, from the research engineers at the universities and the professors, they know this. They know that things cannot be done entirely in the computer because the computer does not match the reality. You always have to have a physical model. And this is the flaw of global warming. Global warming is based on a theoretical computer model. It's not real. It has no basis in reality. And it can be easily demonstrated like this. And so I'm saying is, you know, the classical ideas of science are gone, and because things are uncertain and uncertainty, the Heisenberg uncertainty principle can be demonstrated that way. That means you're now removing from your scientific method. You're removing purpose. You're removing conclusion. All you have left is method and observation, and that's exploratory research. And you take an idea. We took the word, like just the way we took the word moron. We began looking up in the dictionary. Your choice of sources really matter where you go look. The more objective the sources, I mean, in other words, the more removed from our current reality the sources, the better. This is why I choose old dictionaries like this, because this dictionary is old. It's from the 1960s. There's no way I have any influence on this. Further, there's no way that modern society and the changes in the way modern society thinks have any influence on this. This is already set. And so when we want to go research a word, this is the place to go. Same thing with a science dictionary, the science encyclopedia. We want to use something that's older. And this is, unfortunately, you can't find this on the internet anymore because everyone wants to digitize and update things. And as soon as you've done that, you've now modified this time. This is a time capsule frozen in time. Digitize this and put it on the internet, particularly with the way things are done with copyright and people who modify and change things. Then that's no longer an objective time capsule that you can go and look and research things. It now becomes subjective. So, as I said, research starts from a single kernel idea, expands out. Your methods do matter because it will actually determine what you produce and what you don't produce. And then once you've got enough information and material collected the way we have, you can now start seeing, you can start fitting together. You can see how things fit together. You get a picture out of the puzzle pieces that you've collected. In other words, this is a puzzle. Research, engineering, university, my university, the academic university, is one massive puzzle. The pieces are scattered all over the world, all over the universe. You choose one idea that interests you. You begin from there and you start researching it and spreading out from there within the library. You don't have to go to a library anymore, even though you can go to a library. And I recommend highly that people do try out the library first. That's where I started. I started off in the library. Do that first, do the library bit first, and then move forward. And because you can actually build an entire library on the internet. That's what I'm doing. My library now is primarily electronic. I started off with these books here, but I have an electronic library. This is sort of what I've been working on. I want to do getting the screencasts working so that when and this is going to be in about a week or so, we're going to be augmenting the book studies here with research on the internet, using the internet as a massive library. And you will be seeing this, and that's why I wanted to get the screencasts done. The screencasts are done. It's fixed up, it's working, it's in HD, so we will proceed and get things done. So as I said, you know, there are a lot of choices, there are a lot of different things out there you need to look at. The whole part of the fun of this is, if you are an inquisitive person, you want to explore the universe, you want to be an explorer, you can be an explorer and move forward. And the thing is, this is true for engineers. Engineers, part of my job is engineering. And that's what I'll be working on next week or so, is getting my engineering labs operational. I have an engineering machine shop in back behind me, the back door here, that leads to my engineering machine shop. That needs to be fixed up. In the front, where I do a lot of some of the music and everything, the video editing, there's an electronic lab bench there. I need to get my electronics engineering set up there properly. I think there's a lot of work still left to do, but this is part of it. You have to be able to, as an engineer, if you want to be an engineer, you have to be able to bring concept and an idea to reality, and if you can't do that, you're not going to get hired. Anyways, that's it for today. I'll see you around. I know it's been a little long. Once again, Christine, happy birthday. No, that's Kristen. I'm sorry. You're getting Kristen and Christine mixed up. Happy birthday, Kristen. I hope you enjoy your birthday party. And I forgot at the beginning to say this at the beginning, but I'll say it at the end. Christos Anέστη, Messiah Cham. Take it easy.
Free speech rules here at Democratic Earth.